There's a flurry of lobbying here at City Hall, all coming from both supporters and opponents of the $15 minimum wage hike. Monday's vote in the City Council only fell short of passage by one vote. Councilman Carl Stokes, representing District 12, voted to abstain, and we went inside to ask him whether or not he has made a decision as to which direction he will go.
I said I wouldn't vote for the bill. So it is likely I will do what I did this past Monday, which is to abstain on the bill. And my abstention, frankly, is a nod to my friends in labor and the working people. Before this bill, I had a 100% voting record with labor and with working people. On this particular bill, I feel strongly that we're at the wrong number at the wrong time. I think it ought to be a number that is, I don't know, $11.50, $12 that we go to in a year or two, that we just jump to that number. But I think the 15, I think moving $4 or $5 above the rest of the state so that we're out there by ourselves with a number, I think it's the wrong thing to do at this time. I think there'll be some consequences that we're either not able to predict or we're not looking at clearly as we talk about that.
So to be clear,
yeah, go ahead.
We're not going to be at 15 for another 6 years until 2022.
I understand that.
And
but
so
we're going to move $1 a year.
Yeah.
$1 a year for the next 6 years.
Right.
And I think that's, what is that tied to? That's picking a number without any indication of what the economic factors will be during that time. I think we jump to a couple of dollars quickly, and then we could tie that, if we like, going forward to an economic indicator such as the rate of inflation, but I don't think that we should, nobody else is doing that. And again, I hear what you're saying, but I stand that we will be $4 to $5 out and above everybody else. Go ahead.
So you said, you've touted your voting record with labor.
Yes.
But the opposition to this minimum wage increase has happened all across the country from the business lobby.
Right.
What kind of lobbying effort are they putting forth right now?
I was already there before I heard from any business person, to be frank with you. I'm a business person. I'm a former small business person. But I'm getting less calls from business than I am from labor, to be frank with you, but I am getting calls from both sides. And it's frankly all good. I believe that we should quickly move from this poverty wage. The current minimum wage is a poverty wage. It currently is. There's no doubt about that. And I believe we should move, and I like the goal of $15. I said all during the mayoral campaign, I like 15. Let's move it to 15 as soon as we can. I don't think that it is the number we should hold out.
So can you explain why, what concerns you about this stepped increase? Because it's been tried in Seattle most recently.
And you think it's done well?
And for example, in Santa Fe, over 1 year they jumped it 65%.
Okay.
And the doomsday scenarios.
Well, there will be no
business
doomsday.
lobby, that puts forth saying that businesses are going to leave, poor people get priced out of work, people are coming from out of the county.
Right.
That hasn't happened, right?
Okay.
But what has happened, what will happen, is nearly 100,000 people will get lifted out of poverty wages. Won't this help address some of the serious problems in Baltimore?
Well, $12 will lift them out of poverty wages also. That's some $3 more or approximately than they have now. And
for a single person, but a single mother of children.
Right.
That's still poverty wages.
Right. Absolutely right. So you can do, let me just stay in trouble, the communist socialist way of doing this and say everybody gets a wage regardless of whether it's the worth or the skill. You can do that. You can give everybody the same wage, right? And say there's no incentive to earn more, to learn more. You can just give everybody the same wage. And that has another effect. It may be a longer lesson than we can have right here, but I can tell you that I know from my own experience as a business person that oftentimes, not always, there are people who are making the same amount of money, who are getting the same paycheck every Friday, and then one person is busting their behind and they're doing over and above. And the other person doesn't come to work, doesn't do this, doesn't do that, but they have this guarantee, and they're getting the same dollar.
Well, if they're not showing up to work, they're not getting paid, right?
What?
If they're not showing up to work, they're not getting paid.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There are people who have protection of. Let me just say, I've worked in schools, and I know teachers who are sensational, and I know a few teachers who don't deliver.
Well, that's with any profession, right?
Yeah, you're making my point.
Yeah.
So you can only have one or the other. You're saying that if they don't show, they don't get paid. They do get paid. That's the point. That every Friday they get the same paycheck, whether they're busting their behind or they're not. And yeah, it's a whole different conversation. But if you want to go there, then you ought to compare that when you say that. Listen, I don't support it as we speak. I think 15 is a place to go. And yeah, I'm touting the fact that prior to this, 100% I voted with them, labor that is, and working people, and I'm a part of, I would call working people. I'm not a wealthy individual. My salary is what it is here, middle income, I would say. Having said that, I just feel very strongly that there will be consequences. In the city of Baltimore, what we've done with these businesses in our town is to nickel and dime them. We have by far the highest property tax anywhere in the state, by far, 2.5, 3 times what everybody else. What we have is a water bill that is crazy for residents and for property owners, businesses. What we have is a bottle tax that we've put on businesses and consumers. What we have is nickel and diming our businesses over and over and over again. And I just think we ought to just back off, frankly, because what we ought to be doing instead, and in concert with, is to be sure that the Baltimore businesses have money that they can expand their business. Most business owners, small business owners, which is 83% of our business, and 9 out of 10 workers work for a small business, 9 out of 10 in Baltimore.
Right.
In Baltimore,
and so they're going to be exempt from this bill. And so what supporters of the bill would also say, people that have studied this, they've said that who study with a slant. Right, of course. Everybody does. Okay. Okay, so you're going to get. There's no doubt in that. Right. Everyone's got their perspective. Everyone's bringing something to the table. Right. But common sense would also dictate that when you give the poorest people more money,
it juices the economy. They're going
to be spending it.
Of course, it juices the economy. Yeah. It makes the economy stronger. Yeah, Warren Buffett says it. Yeah. So it's not just Carl or anybody else.
So isn't that a way to also boost businesses by giving people more money that they're going to spend? Well, I mean, they're going to spend it.
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course. Yes, the answer is yes. Yeah. I don't disagree.
And so the other point that I don't think has been raised is that when you allow corporations to pay poverty wages, the taxpayer is still subsidizing them, right? Because the taxpayer is paying for welfare, it's paying for food stamps, it's paying for social services, right? So it's still, it's either we're paying it or they're paying it.
Your argument is absolutely correct. It's absolutely correct. It is. So I still feel at this point we shouldn't go that far, that quickly, without others. There should be a statewide or regional movement. That's what I feel, right? I feel that. I feel that we should get the 15, and we should do it in a way that moves us all together. California, New York State, Seattle is an outlier here. I don't know what the results are, frankly, on Seattle. You talk about Santa Fe.
Well, she's been looking at it.
Well, yes, we've been examining it, at least from the restaurant industry perspective.
Sure.
And so in the immediate couple of months after the wage hike measure was enacted, there was a temporary, very brief slowdown in hiring. However, after that, hiring became much more robust, and they've seen nearly 5% growth in hiring in the restaurant industry, specifically in Seattle. And other cities can point to similar outcomes as well. Why don't you think that will happen here?
I don't know if it will happen here. I don't know that it will happen here, right? So if you keep putting on the table that this has happened, then that's all the more incentive to do it. and I don't know that it happens, will happen. I mean, it has happened in Seattle, per what you said. I absolutely hear you, and obviously I believe what you've just said. So I've said that that more money in the pockets of average worker juices the economy. It does. It makes the economy stronger. The more people have, the average worker has to spend, the better economy. It means nothing to people making over $100,000 a year because they have bought everything they need to buy, frankly, other than the yacht. But it does juice the economy, and things will theoretically get stronger, 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 theoretically get stronger.